Rise and shine, it's time for D. It's for drama. That's drama with a D. Well, if you guys couldn't tell, Horace Gold is here.
What can I say?
He's in the building.
What building? We don't know.
Well, we actually are in a studio today.
Hi, guys.
And yeah, we're trying it out.
Look at us.
Not sure if it is working. We might have to tinker with some things.
I have to think about with it.
There's some overhead lighting that is kind of killing me right now, but we couldn't find the fucking plug
anywhere
or the
anywhere at all.
switch.
It was a mystery because there's another room on the other side of this one, and we were like, okay, there's got to be a twin. No, it's a medical mystery.
No, there's only light switches for that room and not this one.
Mm-hmm.
So bright lights.
Yeah, we will persevere.
Are potentially
the death of us. Mariah Carey would hate it in here.
Oh, she would.
She would hate it.
I get it now. The
No, we
older I'm
truly
getting,
do.
the more I'm understanding that. Believe
The more skincare I
me.
put on myself, I'm like direct lighting only.
Yeah, exactly. Well, today we are going to be talking about we're sick.
Oh my God.
Boo you whore.
Is this cancer?
Both of us have struggled in our day with a little bit of, how would you describe it? Mine was fibbery.
Mine was delusion. Mine was I grew up so medically perfect that I wanted problems.
That is me too. That's exactly me too.
I literally needed to have a medical ailment
problem.
because I've never had a chronic issue. I've never broken a bone, unlike our dear Shannon.
I know. Well, we'll get into that story, but I am flipping off the camera right now because I permanently have my middle finger up because I broke my finger last week. But I do believe it is the actor in us who needed something.
Drama.
We needed the drama. Our lives were just too boring.
It feels so
We
good.
needed an issue. So what did we do?
Made it.
We made some problems for ourselves.
I don't think actually align with that language. Do you know what I did?
What?
I created art with my life. I was the subject.
It was a performance.
It was a performance art.
It was
all
an
along,
art piece.
Truly. And the piece is, I want braces. I was a kid who I would put a credit card in between my teeth because I thought a tooth gap was sexy.
Wow.
Interesting. Mysterious.
Yeah.
Unlike the others.
Well, parallel parking Maddie, I was devastated when she got Invisalign because she had the cutest gap teeth
Count your blessings.
ever. And of course, she was insecure about it, I'm sure. Begged her parents for Invisalign. And she got rid of it. And you know what? I think she's regretting it now.
Your teeth are perfect.
I know. Well, and with White Lotus,
Amy Lou Wood.
I know. I'm kind of annoyed that I ever even got my teeth
And hers
fixed.
are prominent.
Oh, yes.
It's like
very
a
prominent.
good big bite.
Honestly, I can contribute the fact that she never got rid of them because she grew up in the UK.
100%.
They're
don't
not
care about
as
their teeth.
crazy about it as we
don't
are
give a
over
fuck.
here.
Yeah.
I'm so glad she kept it.
Me too.
Because there's no way she would have if she grew up in
No,
America.
100%. Because even still, I think I've been conditioned to be like, ooh, wow, big. Those are big.
Yeah.
Those are big.
Yeah.
But I'm like, that's actually a my issue thing.
Mm-hmm.
Those are her teeth. They're natural.
Yeah.
So it's weird that I'm like, oh yeah, I actually am very also have pretty perfect teeth.
I know. You never got anything, did
Never
you?
had braces. Never had anything.
So the credit card didn't work.
Didn't work.
So were you even able to get it up in there?
Barely. It kind of and then I was like, this fucking hurts.
Yeah.
I was 6 and I was like, what the fuck am I doing? It's like, bitch, this is.
Your mom's like, where the fuck is my credit card?
She's calling Chase. It's just she finds it. It's just slobbered and noshed on. I'm bleeding.
Unusable.
The security code is all fucked up.
Yeah,
it just has
she
my
can't
blood on
use
it. Yeah.
Well,
no, I just wanted to be different.
Yes, exactly. And actually, there was things about me enough that were different anyway, like my height for one. But I don't know why I really wanted. For some reason, I never wanted to be called out for my height. I didn't want attention in that way, something that I naturally had. But I always wanted a splint on my finger. I'm living out my dreams right now.
Yeah.
A neck brace, a wheelchair. I pretended to have glasses because my friend's grandma worked at a glasses store, and we were in second grade. We literally went into a bathroom stall like it was a drug deal, and she pulled out the glasses out of her backpack, and then I just showed up, but then I'd get over it Or I would come in the next day with like the wrist brace on the wrong one. And then all my teachers were always like, Mrs. Lewis,
What the fuck?
what is going on?
Yeah. I was the same way where like my sisters would, they played a lot of sports. And so they would sprain their ankle, roll their ankle. There was always like a pair of crutches around the house.
Yeah.
And I was like, they look so glamorous.
Mhm.
Like that is luxury, having a fucking crutch underneath you.
Yeah.
And so I would walk around like pretending and like practicing how to like walk on crutches.
Yes.
But I never sprained my ankle, never did anything at all, never needed it
Mm-mm.
until
Oh.
last year. And I sprained my ankle for the first time and got my very own pair of crutches at 30 years old.
Did I know this?
I think it was when I was wearing my ex's Crocs and I sprained my ankle for a day.
Oh, give me
And
trips.
It was so weird tangent, but we're just going to get into this for a second. I was still getting over my ex and one day decided to we at one point were like wearing matching Crocs, but it was like one Croc was his, one Croc was mine.
Mhm.
And so I was wearing that pair of shoes out and don't know what happened, but was simply walking with like no ankle support in the world at
So
all.
you had on one of his
Croc,
and one
one
of
of
yours
mine.
by accident.
We traded on purpose.
Oh, because of the color or something.
Yes.
It was like
One
cute.
his was green, mine was black.
Cute.
And then when we broke up, we just kept the Crocs. And so I was still wearing the Crocs, but I was like subconsciously still like mourning, living, like wanting him back.
Yes.
And I sprained my ankle in the Croc that was his shoe.
If that's not a sign, I don't
That's
know
not
what
a
is,
sign.
honey.
And so I threw the Crocs away, went and got my glamorous crutches, and the ankle sprain went away the next day. It was crazy.
Weird.
It was crazy.
So you got those crutches just from like CVS or something?
No.
Or did you go to urgent
Amazon
care?
Prime? No. No, I went to urgent care and they like gave them to me. So I felt like super legit. That
Yeah,
I was
it was
like,
legit.
a doctor has given me crutches.
There you
Walked around
go.
everywhere with them. Didn't need them. At no point did I ever need them.
So for like one day.
Literally for one day.
Well, when I was little for Christmas, my mom was asking me what I wanted. I think I've told this story because I had on the guys from the Good Children pod, and we were going into like how I used to behave this way.
When you lied to your class?
When I lied to my class, but that's a different story.
I listened to that episode. You're fucking crazy.
I'm crazy.
You're
I
a
know.
crazy person.
I'll link that episode, perhaps. Should I or no?
I would delete it. No, I'm kidding.
Scrape it
Just
from the internet.
Wipe it immediately.
But this one time, my mom was asking me what I want for Christmas, and we're looking through a
broken
catalog.
limb.
Just throw me down the stairs, Ma.
A black eye.
Give me a shiner right now. I'm just like a bitch to her, so she
Shoot
whoops
me.
me. But we're going through this magazine of toys, and I go, "Oh, Mom, I want this." She's like, "Oh, that kitchen play set? Like we already have that." And I go, "No, this." And I point to a little girl in a wheelchair. I thought it was for sale. She's like, "Oh, honey, she needs that." Well, I want it.
Take it.
I want it, Daddy, and I want it now.
No, I loved ailments. I was really like, I thought I was so cool.
Okay, so was it Munchausen's or was it hypochondria? Because I feel like mine was like looking back, it must have been Munchausen's because I wanted it for attention. But did you actually think you were sick?
No.
Okay,
I
so
wanted
then
it for attention.
So then that's what I think. I'm like,
I think we were both
are
Aries.
Munchausen. Well, so last week when I fell, I'm flipping you guys all off right now if you go to YouTube. Well, first of all, I was rollerblading, but I wasn't rollerblading. I was standing in rollerblades.
Which is also, can I give you a bit of credit that like that's a very familiar friend to you. You're a very comfortable rollerblader.
Yes.
So I'm sure you weren't like prepared to eat shit.
No. Well, I got in trouble afterwards because people were like, you really need to wear a helmet and stuff because I never do.
In
And I'm
trouble.
Like, yeah, in trouble. Just by the urgent
Yeah.
care. And so I'm standing on the sidewalk and I have my one foot kind of up against this. There was a curb on the sidewalk, if that makes sense. And I had my foot up against it and I was holding it. And for whatever reason, I decided to turn my foot in the same direction as my other one was. And there was a slope on the sidewalk. And then I just fell like a cartoon character. Like I was down in like 0.25 seconds flat, right on my back. I fell on the curb that was on the sidewalk, I posted pictures already on my social media, but I'll post them again for you guys. Then my left hand slammed on the concrete. And that was the part that was hurting me the most. It was like throbbing, but I was worried about my back because I've talked about this before, this injury that I have. It's like a sciatica issue and it's actually gotten better. But I was like, oh my fucking God, don't tell me I hurt it again because I fell another time. So I was more concerned about that, but my hand was like throbbing. And then like 6 hours later, it blew up like a balloon. And then I was just icing it. When I was in college, though, I was playing soccer and my pinky, it was indoor soccer and it like got stuck on the wall and it like cracked back like that. The next day, it must have just been like swollen a little bit, but I would just went on with my life, never got it looked at because it barely hurt or anything. And then like months later, I was like, something feels weird. It's not straight anymore because it's literally not straight anymore.
Can you straighten it?
I can go like this, but it's like I have to.
It's natural.
It's not like, yeah. Then I went and got x-rays and I have a huge crack right here. It healed terribly. It just healed completely wrong. So this time around, I was like, okay, last time I didn't even know it was broken. This time, like, I have to go and get it looked at. So far, I've just been to urgent care. I need to go to the orthopedic. But this is how sick I am. I still revert back to my old childhood self. And literally, I'm like, God, I hope it's broken.
God, I hope it's broken. I hope it's broken. I hope it's broken today.
Because I'm still so fucking sick.
Yeah.
Like, I still feel like I need this attention. But then after having it broken for like 4 days, I'm like, this sucks. Yeah. Why would I ever wish... no health, why would I ever wish, what is that? No health on me. Why would I wish to be sick?
Yeah. Gypsy Rose Lewis is literally what
That's
it's
me.
giving. Yeah.
As I've been going around in the world, I'm like, someone asked me for direction. I'm like, it's that way. You have something on your face here.
Most people are showing off an engagement ring. You're showing off.
That's literally what I was thinking. I literally have that written down in my notes. It says, you know how engaged women walk around trying to casually show off their ring? That's what I'm doing with my face. Oh, what's that over there? What is that?
I honestly thought it was a ring when you hold it down like that.
Yeah, it does look like a ring.
I was like,
ring.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
This little thing.
This whole thing.
Let me see the rock, sweetie.
But yeah, now that it's actually happened to me, that I've actually fucking broken something. I did when I was like 2, but I haven't since then. It really is so annoying. It takes me like double the amount of time to do anything.
Yeah. No, I have never broken a bone on my own doing.
What does that mean?
My collarbone was broken when I was born.
My collarbone was broken when I was like 2.
Oh my God. Wait, what happened to you?
Twins.
Mine was being yanked out of my mom. So very different. Very different. He's like, get the fuck out of there. Got me.
Wait, really?
Yeah. And that's the only bone that's ever been broken on me. And so I always wonder if that's why I have like really prominent clavicles.
Oh yeah.
Because
I've got a little divot here.
But that's it. I've never like sprained an ankle a couple times. Once when I was like 21 and then the other 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And then
for one day.
Because God wanted me to get rid of those fucking shoes. I did. Threw them away that day.
But I do think that the middle finger is so apropos for my life right now, just because I literally am like, fuck it, burn it to the ground.
Just going through it.
And I love it. It's perfect. Burn it to the ground.
Shannon's going through it.
Also, sincerest apologies to those that were affected by my April Fool's joke last week.
I didn't see it.
So you don't listen?
No, because I purposely
no.
did not
He goes, no.
No, I did not. Because I purposely do not consume any media on April 1st. I am very, very gullible. I don't know what you said. What did you say?
I said, you know what? Fuck all of y'all. I'm out. I'm not doing this anymore. No, yeah, I was just like, I just have so many other things going on. I literally don't have a fucking thing going on except
for this.
Except for my middle finger. And that I just didn't have enough time to dedicate to the podcast. So this is my last episode. Like, can you imagine I give up after 18 episodes? Oh, well.
I give up after less. I think mine was 12. Guys,
yeah, but you went to YouTube.
Yes. So my podcast, in case anyone was wondering.
Oh, yes.
My podcast has transitioned to YouTube exclusively. So you can find my podcast and video essays at youtube.com/@hardlyqualified. And then you can find me on any social media under Horace Gold.
Yeah.
But for me, editing a podcast and then having a life, a lot. So hats off to you, my sister.
Yeah, the editing part is my least favorite part, which is surprising to me because I love editing. That's like my favorite thing. But I don't know. There's something like vulnerable about having to watch yourself back and wanting to make sure like it was like interesting or blah, blah, blah. Like I always, but then once I start editing, it's not that bad. It's like when you have to get your shoes on to go to the gym is like the hardest part of going to the gym.
Yeah.
That's how it feels like. Opening up the files and doing it. But then once I'm doing it, it's like, that's not that bad.
No.
It just takes a long time.
There's something weird about editing sound that I'm also like, ugh. Like the sound is gnarlier for me than I like editing videos. So if you like to watch videos, find me on YouTube.
Yeah, they're really fun. And you can also, if you want to just listen to it as audio, like you can have it on in the background too.
Totally.
It's also not like vlogging where it's like you have to see
yeah.
it. So all right, shall we get into the episode?
Let's dive in.
All right. Story numero uno. I am 19 years old and my parents are in their mid-50s. For as long as I can remember, I have been allergic to several things. Dairy, wheat, gluten, and flour, legumes.
Ooh.
Since I was a young child, my parents have completely kept all of these out of our house. While other kids ate breakfast cereals, I ate fish and assorted pickled vegetables for breakfast. Yikes.
Gnarly.
There's nothing else you could have eaten?
I really don't think
Have you heard of eggs?
Literally a piece of bacon.
While other kids had Lunchables, I had grilled chicken or fish with, again, assorted vegetables, usually sweet potatoes. While other kids ate birthday cake at a birthday party, I had an apple. I never questioned
These are
this.
the only options.
I know. It's crazy. I never questioned this until a couple months ago. I was at my aunt's house for my birthday and she made brownies for everyone. She took great steps to make them with almond flour and avoided all of my allergies. I started eating them and thought little of it until my aunt suddenly looked at me and in a panicked way asked which plate I took the brownies from. I pointed from the one where I got the brownies and she immediately stood up and told me we had to get my EpiPen. She raced to ask my mother for it and I sat there scared out of my mind because I had never mistakenly eaten flour before. I noticed my mother had calmed down and then she said that we don't have to worry because she had switched the plate of brownies. And after all, I had eaten the ones with the almond flour. I found this incredibly odd because really, why would she switch the plates? That doesn't even make sense. But for the time being, I let the issue rest. It didn't sit well for me for about a week, and I finally went to get an allergy test. The doctor started with a skin prick. And lo and behold, I didn't react to any of the above substances. Then he ordered a blood test, and when the results came in, they said that I had absolutely no intolerance to any of the foods I'm supposed to be allergic to. I was furious and called my mom. She eventually admitted that she lied to me because she wanted me to be on a Paleolithic diet and wanted me to be able to avoid all temptations. She raised me with a lie about my own health, but she keeps insisting that I try to see it from her perspective. She spams my phone with messages about how healthy I am, that I never had acne, that I had been in great shape my whole life, that I have strong teeth and bones, and even that I got into a D1 college tennis team. She has started calling me ungrateful for her intervention and insisting that I really should be glad I never got, quote, carb addicted. I don't know what to think. I carried around my EpiPen for all those years, one that I suspect may be fake, seeing as my mother never got me to replace it, and I don't even know anymore. Am I ungrateful for losing it over this?
Wow.
Well, the reason why I chose this, because I don't know if you guys know this, but Horace fakes a gluten intolerant allergy.
You shut up. You shut up.
You shut
your mouth right now. Although I will say that there has been some progress with that.
Really?
I've been trying to slowly introduce it again to see how it's sitting. I mean, it's not been that bad. I had like a piece of pizza with Maddie and Tierney.
Oh, and it was okay?
It was fine.
Oh,
but
great.
I took the tests and it showed up. But Shannon hates me and refuses to validate my actual medical and you know how much these mean to me. That's also the thing, is you know how much it means to me to have a medical difficulty. And so you won't just let me have it.
No, I can't validate your feelings on this one.
I'll validate it.
Not going to happen. I know better than that.
I know.
I know better than
I
to
see right through you.
You used to put a credit card between your teeth, kid.
Crazy work, dude.
Wow.
Like borderline illegal? I don't even know. Like
I
that's crazy.
know. I feel like there's a way to raise your kids to eat healthy without having to straight up completely
Lie.
lie to
Yeah.
them.
And it's not even honestly about the health. It's like so much of that is, I think, like the communal experience of being able to eat something at the same time as someone else. Like there's something really
Yes.
like bonding. Like that's like the most OG way humans have bonded is like breaking bread. Literally, like that's
Yep.
what the phrase is.
Yeah.
And so to deny your child through that experience during formative years is
Yeah.
like really
And
wrong.
constant worry
Yeah,
and
the
fear and
anxiety.
probably a little bit embarrassment in front of your peers.
Right.
I was even like always embarrassed about because my family actually did eat like very healthy. I think we were kind of raised vegetarian. My mom was very into health food. And I would always have like carrots and cucumbers and I would be really embarrassed about that. So I could see there being a little bit of like social anxiety around this.
Right.
And yeah, not to mention like the fear of always at restaurants having to be like,
Uh-huh.
please make sure there's not any of
Mm-hmm.
this in there and just walking on eggshells your whole
Right.
life.
Gluten-free eggshells.
That's right.
No, I think it's stupid. I think it's super gnarly and like honestly, to feel like you've been lied to about yourself
Mm-hmm.
is yeah, there's like no way that you're wrong. Like, no, you're not ungrateful.
With yours, at least yours isn't like you're gonna die.
Yeah. Yeah.
With
Yeah.
him,
Yeah.
they're making him feel like he's gonna
Yeah.
die. And like with yours, like, yeah, like it's
It's
not,
not my
you want to
favorite
avoid
thing.
it because it hurts your stomach
Right.
and like other issues. But with this one, it's like, okay, if you are going to lie about this, couldn't you have said that? Why do you have to be like, you're going to die if you
Mhm.
have this and you have to carry around an EpiPen with you? And also, as a guy, because it is a guy, I didn't make mention that. But as a guy, it's not like you have a purse to like always carry around most
Mhm.
of the time. Guys just have their pockets. They have to carry their EpiPen around in their pocket all their entire life.
Yeah, literally. And like I also think like I don't know. I think that there's something really like look, I'll say for me, when I was a kid, my mom used to tell me the lie about I don't know if anyone else can relate to this, but my mom would always tell me to push back my cuticles
Oh,
because if not, it
yes.
was gonna grow over my nail.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
like
Yeah,
the
why was that a
fear. I don't even
thing?
know
It was like
what.
that, and you have to turn off the back light in the car or the
The
police will
police
pull
will
you
pull you
over.
over. Yes.
It
Yes.
was like these
I
little
still freak out when I'm
lies.
driving. I'm like, gotta turn it off.
Yeah,
Like I can't leave it on for too long. I
it's
don't
embedded.
understand the like I don't understand the fear of cuticles and like what we were conditioned to believe
Yeah, I
about.
don't
Like I
know
don't
why you
understand
have
the
to
point.
push them
I
back.
don't get it. But I can understand a mom being like, "Oh, sweetie, like, oh, don't eat the brownie or the brownie monster's gonna get you." Like if that's how you want to play it. But to be like, "No, you're actually a teenager. Here's an EpiPen, another level. It's a completely
You're
different."
adding so much fear to this person's
100%. Yeah,
life.
100%.
Like
Affect.
it would be awful if she still did it and she was like, yeah, you're probably going to get the shits every single time, so just don't do it. But even like that would have been a little bit more understandable. You're literally putting the fear of God into
Yeah,
this kid for his
100%.
entire life. I would be
100%.
livid.
Yeah. And like the effects of like I don't know, I think like I don't think that like our parents' generation really understands that like trauma can be more than just like a near death experience. Like there are thoughts that are like traumatic. You
Mhm.
know, to be like, "Oh my god, I can't eat that brownie or a piece of fried chicken or I'll die."
Mhm.
Like colors your brain in a certain pathway where like those are really high stakes over like a fairly innocuous situation. So you're like
Oh
putting a
yeah.
high amount of like traumatic allocation
Paranoia?
onto a child.
Yeah.
And like no matter what, he may recover from this, but
Mhm.
that will always be his story. Like you have like done permanent damage to your son's relationship with food.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even just like the paranoia that I have now of getting sick, like post COVID, because before that, oh my God, I was eating food off of the plates when I was a
I know this about
waitress.
you,
Like
and
I
that is
was
truly the
disgusting.
worst fucking thing I know about you. That's the
Worse than
worst.
my Munchausen
That's
behavior.
worse.
Oh boy.
That's worse.
Oh boy.
That's the worst thing about you. That's your red
Well,
flag.
I grew out of it.
Yeah, I used to
Because
do
of
it too.
COVID.
I used to
But
do
I
it too.
wish you used to do it too, but this is my red flag.
It's the worst thing about you. I also did the same thing.
That's your biggest red flag right there.
I hate that about you. I relate.
But I wish I still was like that because life was so much better. Like I didn't have any
Yeah.
paranoia and
Yeah,
fear
yeah.
around it. And now because of the stupid fucking pandemic, now I really am I'm so paranoid about that stuff. Like when I shake someone's hand, my hand will literally like feel dirty until I go and wash it. And I can't imagine how this person feels like around anytime he would see any
He's
of
a brownie.
that. Triggered.
Yeah. You know, I had to really kind of like full send my way back from that, from like that COVID fear, and just be like, I'm going to be gross.
I know, maybe I need to do that.
I like have tried to like, I've had to like be grosser. So like I purposely stopped wiping down my groceries. I purposely stopped wiping down my cell phone every time I walked in the house. Like I
don't do any of that stuff anymore.
I did all that
for a while.
For a long, like not until like a year ago.
Oh shit.
Like for the first 4 years of the pandemic, I was like still kind of like living in COVID mode. And I had to be like, hey, you were in a different phase of your life. And now I don't notice it as much. Or like I'll like used to like change my clothes as soon as I walked back inside during COVID.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, no, I can wear my clothes on the couch. Like it's okay. Like I don't wear shoes in the house because I live in downtown.
Yeah, I stopped doing that too.
But yeah,
mine's more just like touching things in public.
No
but
damage.
Can you imagine how amazing though? The one point I will give to the parents now that he's discovered it. How amazing it would be to be able to try all of these flavors.
He's going to blow.
Oh, he's going to have IBS
He's going to develop a gluten intolerance because of this.
I know. Someone was like, you need to be careful about reintroducing or introducing these back into 100%. You. But
I know.
Wouldn't that like being able to try all those flavors as a conscious person?
What's the first thing that you would try? Give your top 5 of things you should recommend this person to try for the first time.
Okay. Well, I guess peanut butter. I really like with legumes. Yeah, I love peanut butter.
When we never had a fucking bean and cheese burrito at 2 a.m.
Yeah, cheese.
Was it dairy too? Yeah, it was dairy.
So it's dairy, gluten, and legumes.
Cannot have a bean and cheese burrito.
Which also, why wasn't she allowing him to eat legumes? They're good for you. Beans are really healthy for you. Are they not?
She's just afraid of farts.
Yeah, that's it. Which is also like half of my audience because that one, my one about flatulence, got like half of the views. Y'all scared?
Y'all scared?
All right. Cheese.
Okay. What cheese? Let's get
as
specific
I'm
as
not I hated cheese growing up and I like it now. So like I'm kind of like a wimp around it, but my favorite cheese is Parmesan.
Okay, honestly.
But like maybe pizza.
Yeah.
So pizza, like a cheeseburger. I guess he was always allowed to have French fries. Both of us love French fries. It's our number one food.
And we've like done the ranking. What's your favorite again? What's your number one version?
I think I would just have to go skinny.
I think I'm curly fried number 1.
Ugh.
Number 1.
Yeah, we don't agree on the type.
Yeah. But tater tots are high up there for me.
And they're my least.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is so crazy to me.
We are not on the same page about that. But on the same page about French fries being number 1.
Exactly.
Number 1 slot. And then, I don't know. What else would you do?
I would probably see.
Pasta.
Okay.
Regular pasta.
Yeah. Gnocchi is like the one I'd be like, go for it. See, I also did not like cheese as a child.
Oh.
I didn't like it. I would
We're finding out so much about each other.
I would take off the cheese from Costco pizzas because there was too much cheese on it.
Yes.
And I would take off like
when there was too much cheese on the pizza.
The grossest
disgusting.
thing in the
Unless
world.
it was burnt.
But burnt, yes, but then it just got so like I hated stretchy cheese. Gross me out.
Same.
I just didn't like it. But now I'd probably say a soft cheese.
No, I'm a hard.
I would start with the charcuterie board if I was him. Start with a little baguette, a little brie. Like I would go for that. So that's up there, charcuterie board.
Oh, ice cream.
Ice cream. I would go for
any kind of dessert.
Weirdly enough, the one that keeps coming to my mind, the very first experience that I think is apparently controversial take.
What?
Cheesecake. I don't know. I did not know I lived in a world where cheesecake was a contentious dessert item.
Wasn't beloved by the
I thought we
masses.
were all on the same page that cheesecake is the fucking best. And I was so
Like,
I used to my birthday cake was a cheesecake when I was a kid, and I would eat the whole thing.
oh, mine was ice cream cake.
I would eat the
You would eat the whole thing. Dang, honey.
like over a course of days, but like
Yeah.
I loved a cheesecake. And then I
My
would do like
sister loved cheesecake.
creme brulee. I feel like that's just like another like crazy tactile experience.
Mhm.
Like that kind of stuff. Red velvet cupcake. Oh.
I feel like I would be most excited for. I would be like, okay, beans can take them or leave them.
Yeah, you know.
I like them, but because they're like healthy for me, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna like go ham on a 3-bean salad
Yeah.
as my cheat meal.
Yeah.
Let's see what some comments say. Not only the aunt, but all the other people like teachers and parents and friends who had to watch you. Always in the back of their head that OP could die if he'd eat something wrong. All the extra effort for lunches. It's so true. Like all of these other people in your life had to deal with this. Like I went on vacation with Max's family, and his cousin has a really severe nut allergy. And it's like every single time we'd go to eat, like they would have to like drill it into the server's head to like absolutely make sure that, because like as human beings we can be absent-minded and forget stuff, but it's a whole ordeal every single time you're out to eat with people who have deadly allergies. And OP was also saying like we barely would go out to eat, and you have to, for the parents, like you're crafting your entire life on this. I mean, it was their crazy choice, but imagine like having to live with an obstacle your whole life.
Can I make this too deep for a second?
Okay.
This is like a really extreme example of fat phobia. Like,
Yeah.
to lie to your child his whole life,
Mm-hmm.
convince him that he has an allergy and that he needs to carry an EpiPen so that he wouldn't become a carb addict.
True.
What is that? What do you mean by a carb addict, sweetheart?
Yeah.
Define that.
Yeah.
You're so afraid of your child becoming fat that you would lie to him his whole life and tell him he's going to die if he has a brownie.
Yeah.
That's great. Truly like psychotic.
I know. I'm like almost wondering if there's like diseases in the family, like
Sure,
diabetes or something
hypertension,
to
yeah,
avoid. And so
yeah.
she's doing this, but it's also like my mom raised me to eat healthy. I know there are some kids that like definitely go against that, but it's also like everything in moderation.
Right. Like it's not like he wouldn't have gone D1 because he ate a croissant on a Sunday morning.
Exactly.
Like, truly calm down.
Exactly. Although, gotta love the no acne thing. I wonder if that is even from this though.
Yeah. Like I didn't get acne until I was like 27. You know what I mean? Like I just didn't have it.
No, they told us it would be done after middle school.
Mine started as an adult. I
wonder why.
it's
Like
the
when
worst.
you quit drinking?
Honestly, like 2 years ago. Like this is just the worst my skin's ever been. Like
Me too.
so it's just I don't know. And it's this weird thing that people like want to eliminate human experiences for this like pursuit of perfection.
Yeah,
when
it's
I'm
sick.
like, stop.
You're wrapping yourself up in their success so much that you're like willing to lie to them and risk your relationship with them because you think that this ever coming out wasn't going to affect it.
And I think he replied appropriately. I'm
and her
sorry.
being like, you're being ungrateful. Oh, you're the victim now?
Right.
Excuse me.
Ungrateful that you lied to me my whole life.
And also it's like you don't think that he is capable enough to make his own decisions to eat healthy.
Right. Well, and like, sorry, that actually means you're not doing that good of a parenting job.
No.
If you have to lie to your child to convince him to like not harm himself with food, that means you're the failure of a parent. You lying to him his whole life is not this like protective martyrship that you know. Like, just be a good parent. Sorry.
Yeah.
Loser.
Yeah. There's a lot of really like fucked up underlying stuff that
There's a
is
lot
going
here,
on.
actually. Yeah.
A lot.
I'm curious. I would love to know like what the dad said. Like
Yeah.
if the dad had any contribution, if the dad knew, did she lie to everyone? Does she have sisters? What's her relationship with food?
Yeah, it sounds like he must be an only child. Otherwise, I feel like he would have said something. But the dad's probably like one of those
Mother knows
typical
best.
dads who's just like, dun, 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 dun.
Literally almond flour mom. That's crazy.
And the like we swapped the plates.
Be a better liar. You lied for 21 years. This is the time you decided to throw in the towel?
If you know your kid, if you know your kid has a gluten intolerance, you wouldn't switch
Well,
around
yeah.
the plates for some fun.
Yeah. Ooh. Hey guys,
Risk his life.
you want to play cards? No, let's play switch the brownies that are on this specific plate.
And commit to the bit.
Yeah.
Put that EpiPen in his thigh, honey.
Yeah.
Go all
Stab
the way.
him. Exactly.
Like, there's probably nothing in it anyway.
It's grape juice.
Yeah, like, how did you even get your hands on an EpiPen? Like, this woman, she has almost like a form of Munchausen by proxy, it almost feels like.
I think this actually is Munchausen by proxy.
Yeah.
Because Munchausen.
Well, that's when you do it to yourself.
But by proxy.
Is when you do it to someone else.
Yeah. So this is the definition of Munchausen by proxy.
I know, but like she's claiming it's about his health, but like.
No, but that's exactly what it is. That's like what everyone is like, I'm trying to protect you. I'm like, it's.
Because I always think of it as like wanting attention, but I guess there is a way that she's also getting attention from this too.
It's so disgusting. I'm like, no, I'm sorry. Like, I'm all about like reunification, stick with the family unit, but like, fuck you, huh? That's crazy work.
And she's not even admitting it.
No.
That's the problem.
Well, and saying you should be grateful. Okay, name it. List what I should be grateful for.
Yeah. He did say, I was a good, respectful kid. I followed her directions. Why did it take a lie to get me to eat the way I thought I should? I'll probably keep eating this way for the most part anyway, but knowing a strawberry milkshake won't kill me is a huge relief. Exactly. Like me, like I was the pickiest eater in the world when I was a kid, but I ate really, really healthy. And even though I love a ton of foods now, I still kind of like always go back to like, oh, no cheese on my sandwich because I didn't like it. And it's like not as good for you, you know? And so I do kind of revert back to like how I was a picky eater when I was younger. Just like this is like, he probably still will eat like this. So she could have raised him eating like this. And just to like be able to have McDonald's every now and then.
After a fucking tennis match with his friends.
Exactly.
That's sad. Those are years you can't get back either. Those are experiences and bonding moments and just like feeling like you're on the in that like you can't get back in. You can't recreate that. So like it's deeper than like the strawberry milkshake. It's like the familiarity, it's the bonding, it's the like it's messy.
Messy. He says here, in her defense, and I know it's weird trying to defend her here, but she went above and beyond in helping me grow up relatively, quote, normally. She baked alternative desserts for me, and during my birthday parties as a kid, she would feed the other kids normal cake. I never really felt left out or that I was missing out on anything because I had no metric by which to judge flour. On the other hand, I ate an actual cheeseburger for the first time after learning I had no allergy, and there is no replacement for that.
Yeah.
I almost cried over a double bacon cheeseburger.
Most important burger ever eaten in American history.
For real. All right, let's move on to the next one, shall we?
Let's rip it.
My girlfriend and I have been together for about a year. Most everything is great except one thing. If I tell her I'm sick, not feeling well, or hurt, she refuses to believe me. If I have a cold, she tells me I'm faking it until it goes away, and then she goes, see, you're fine. I'm rarely sick, so it's never been a major issue, but she has zero sympathy when I'm sick. She grew up with hypochondriac parents who were always, quote, sick with something, often self-diagnosing themselves with fatal maladies. Mm-hmm. She has limited contact with them, and the time I met them, I was told by them that they didn't have long left to live. I get it. Growing up in that household must have been awful, but what happened on Sunday just sent me over the edge. My girlfriend and her sister went to check out this event, and we were all supposed to go. I woke up with excruciating back pain and could barely breathe. Girlfriend got so mad at me for, quote, ruining this that she wouldn't speak to me. As she was about to leave, I asked her not to because I thought something was wrong. She said no and left anyway. I threw up in my bed and eventually called my parents. I was too embarrassed to call 911, and my mother and brother hauled me to the hospital. I was whisked back, and after 20 minutes, I was diagnosed with kidney stones. I had a CT scan and then went for a procedure to bust them. 5 hours later, and I was laying on my parents' sofa in a haze. I have never and hope to never feel that pain again in my life. I was sure I was going to die. The attending in the ER told me it's worse than childbirth and that they've had it before too. I didn't text my girlfriend throughout because I really didn't have the strength or foresight. I was drugged up and uncomfortable. My sister found out that I had been in the emergency room, and soon after, my girlfriend called me. She was pissed off I didn't call her. I then reminded her that I begged her not to leave as I thought something was wrong. She got quiet and eked out an apology. I got furious and said something rather nasty, among them, fuck off, and some other unsavory things. In fairness, I was on dope, still sore, peeing blood, and felt like someone had punched me in the gut. Standing was incredibly painful. I needed to take 2 days off work and school. I rested in bed, and the only thing you can think is the person who should have been there didn't even believe me. She texted me this formal apology, but she wants one in return for the nasty things I said. I've been avoiding her calls and texts. I feel like shit this week and picked something up in the ER, so I laid low, took a few more days off work, and relaxed. She wants to meet tonight and talk about everything, but I'm so mad. I don't know if I should hold off seeing her. Is this as big a transgression as I feel like it is? Am I blowing this out of proportion because I felt so shitty?
Mm. You go first.
Well, I think obviously, very obviously, it is shitty that she wasn't there and she didn't believe him and she constantly doesn't believe him. But it's very clear where her reactions are coming from.
Mhm.
She obviously gets very triggered by people lying about being sick. And I mean, her parents sound like they still do it to this day. They're telling people they don't have long left to live. I mean, fortunately for me, and it sounds like for you too, ours were more about like just temporary ailments like broken bones,
Mhm.
needing braces, wanting to have a gap that makes you a little different, like wanting glasses. I mean, glasses aren't temporary, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I truly never ever faked or wanted to fake like having a serious illness, or I rarely ever even faked being like sick for
Mm.
school. It was more just like the attention of a broken bone, which actually I was thinking about this after last year when I did the episode with the good children guys, but also my sister, because she was such a sporty girl and she was a daredevil and always jumping off of roofs and stuff, is she always had a broken bone. So I think as a kid, I realized, oh, that's a way to get attention, is to have a broken bone. And also there was like casts and crutches laying around the house a lot for
Mhm.
me to, hijack as my own. So I can completely understand where this trauma of her comes from. Cause I think I can say in the past with my partners, like I've definitely been triggered about certain things. That's something in my past that I'm bringing forward into my relationship. And it's unfair that my partner has to deal with that.
I would break up over this,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
I know. It's really, really like a- after so many times too. Obviously, this was the big one, but like constantly being gaslit that you're not sick.
And I think she also hates him because, like, if you had that experience, if that was your person,
Hmm.
your love for them would transcend your past trauma. I think.
Yeah.
I think you would be able to be like, "Hey, I knew it was different because this thing should have triggered me, but actually, like, just wanted to take care of you."
Hmm.
But she doesn't want to take care of him, and she doesn't, which means I'm like, you don't love him enough.
I know, but isn't she also sick as fuck of taking care of people that are faking being sick?
But if he never did that to you,
Right.
like, and the fact of the matter is, it's like those moments where it's like, oh, what's gonna happen when there's an emergency? It's like this was the emergency, and you didn't show up.
Yeah.
So like, what's the next time? Like, what's the equivalent next time? Do I have to die for you to like take me seriously as a partner?
Yeah.
There's no way that like I would ever trust a partner to be there.
And she goes, "You're ruining this."
Right. I'm dying, babe. I'm literally dying. What do you fucking mean?
Yeah. Like, has he ever shown any signs of like hypochondria or like Munchausen where he isn't showing up?
Right.
No.
Right.
And so you do have to deal with your own triggers, go to therapy, and you can't put them on other people.
But I think in the meantime, I'm like, I would not be here to like tolerate your growth around you like not believing that I'm in pain. Like that's just like not a thing I can like sit by. Like I can tolerate a partner learning how to like put their clothes away better.
Yeah.
That's something. But I'm like, oh, the learning curve is you believing that I'm in pain. Like,
Yeah.
and the reason that I say she hates him is because I never believed my ex was in pain.
Oh.
because I hated him. I was like, no, you're not. No, you're
No,
fucking not. And then there was one time.
because you thought he was being a drama king?
There was one time where I'm brave enough to say this. There was one time where he was like, I pinched a nerve in the gym. And I was like, okay, all right, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't believe him. Goes to the doctor. He fully pinched a nerve. And I was like, I think I hate you. I was like, I think I fucking hate you. Because like the reflex for me to like not believe you.
But did he ever show signs of that in the past,
Yes.
though?
Yeah. I
So,
always thought he was like, I was always like, mm-hmm.
but was he like
Sometimes it was
exaggerating?
sometimes it was over exaggerated. Sometimes I just, yeah, there were certain times, but this one was, if he was my, it was kind of what I said in the beginning. I knew in me that I was like, if he was my partner, I would have been like, oh baby, I want to take care of you.
Yeah.
But I was like, get over it, buck up, grow up. I don't think you have this. And then I was like, oh, that says more about me.
Yeah.
That like I don't really care about you, and that's why I think she doesn't care about him, because if she was truly in love with him, it would transcend her past experiences, because she would want to take care of him, or she would want to do the work to grow.
Yeah, I think it's more that, like, if they have had multiple conversations about this, I mean, he said he's rarely sick, so it's not a huge issue. He didn't say that they haven't really like talked about it. If this is the first strike, I can see like trying to work through this. I mean, I'd be pissed as fuck, and I would be like, how can I ever regain your trust? Or yeah, how can I ever trust you again?
Yeah.
I guess if it's like a first time, I could see where it is like, if you can see that what you just did was you're putting your parents' trauma onto me, and then we can work through this.
Yeah.
Like, if you can acknowledge it. If there's no acknowledgement, then fuck her.
Yeah.
And the like needing an apology back.
Crazy.
I mean, I think that would make sense to maybe address that like down the road.
Also depends on what he said.
I mean, he said fuck off.
And I'm like, but like,
that's
what
not
else?
that bad.
What else?
If there was like direct attacks, if I was her, I mean, she's probably heated too, I guess. But the fact that I don't know why she's heated, honestly. I guess the way he spoke to her was probably like crazy. But I do think that that is something you could address like after you've like groveled for forgiveness, and then like maybe like a month later after you're in a good spot, just be like, hey, and I just want to mention, like, I really didn't like the way you talked to me on the phone that one time. I know you were upset, but like, please don't call me a cunt ever again. You know, like something like that. Like if it was that intense.
Yeah, for sure. And I think like it is a bit of a like everybody sucks here.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, I definitely think you don't ever have to like speak like that to your partner. I just don't know if I could be in a relationship. I think I would be so done at feeling so abandoned in crunch time,
and that I ruined it.
But I ruined it. You're literally adding insult to injury. Like, I probably would just be like, hey, I think I hate you too.
Yeah.
I think I'm out.
Should we read the update?
Yeah.
An
update.
I love an
update.
Despite my protest and the time that we had set, so it sounds like he was saying, I don't want to meet up, and they like set a time to meet up later.
Okay.
She was at my door when I got home and sort of popped out and scared the shit out of me. She had her arms full of things: chocolates, a video game, a card, beer, and dinner. You guys are right. Her family thing meant that she never thought people could truly be sick, or that it'd just have a fast onset like kidney stones. She apologized and almost wouldn't let me get a word in edgewise. She typed out a lot of notes in her phone, including why it was a mistake for me to dump her. I told her how upset I was and just how bad things were at the hospital and why I was mad. She kept saying she was sorry and promised to deal with her problems. She revealed she texted her therapist about what happened, and they had a meeting before she met up with me. He gave her some strategies and offered advice and things to say. She came with the right answers and seems to think it is a big deal. She didn't ask for an apology and dropped that subject altogether. She camped out at my apartment all weekend so that I wouldn't change my mind and hung around with my friends when they came over. She was apologetic all weekend and took it upon herself to take care of me to make up for when she wasn't there. It was a bit strange, but I didn't protest a lazy weekend as I still didn't feel 100%. By the end of the weekend, I wasn't chapped anymore and was fine to move on with my life. She kept asking if we were okay, and I must have reassured her 250,000 times that we were.
That would work on
So
me.
that's good. Yeah. I mean, you're like chocolates, dinner.
Again, yeah, I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's great that she took it upon herself. I mean, yeah, where he didn't have to say like go to your therapist. Like it
Hmm.
obviously struck a chord for her and she was like, "Oh shit.
I need to do the work.
I need to do the work." The one thing though I will say is like her family thing meant that she never thought that people could truly
I'm
be
like, do you
sick.
think people just don't
And
die?
also you've never been sick in your
Right,
life.
right.
You've never been sick in your
You
life.
never gone to the hospital?
I mean, that is a possibility. She's never been to the hospital, but
How old are they? Yeah.
you've never even gotten sick.
Or known anyone near you who like legit? Yeah.
I mean,
Whatever.
that's the problem with the boy who cried wolf, like with hypochondriacs, is
Yeah.
that you really are instilling this, like, you know, in a person where they don't know if the ground is underneath them or not. Like they're just so confused by anything as they think everyone's lying,
Yeah.
basically. So her parents are fucked up. It's their own sickness.
Yeah.
Luckily, it sounds like they didn't put it onto her.
But the opposite happened where she's this like complete like cynic.
Yeah, lack
around.
of empathy
Yeah.
for anyone that's
Kind of
sick.
crazy, kind of scary. But not
I
complete lack of
know.
empathy because I do really appreciate that she was able to be like, "Hey, I'm wrong. Hey, can I make it up? Hey, fuck me. You're right.
Mm.
I'm so wrong." Like I think I would look for that in my partner. Like not needing to say anything and like I'm a big believer. We talked about this with a friend that I got into a fight with where I was like, you need to be able to I can't tell you what you did wrong.
Yeah.
Like you need to be able to like see from my perspective
Mm-hmm.
why I'm hurt. And I can't like give you the keys to the castle because then it's not real. Then you don't actually know why you hurt me. But I
Yeah.
think when someone can come back and be like, "Hey, this is exactly what I did.
Yes.
I am so sorry. This, and like really get inside of your mind." That always
Acknowledge
makes me
it.
feel and like personalize it. You know, like I can imagine it made you feel X, Y, and Z. Blah, 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 you know, like
Mhm.
that mindset around an apology does actually really have a deep effect
Mhm.
of like humanizing and validating someone's pain.
Yeah. And she brought him like, video game, beer, chocolates, dinner, a card. Like that is all like personalized, as you were saying to
Mhm.
him. And yeah, as we were saying, like she took the time to go to her therapist.
And it didn't last for like a day, you know, like it was like the rest of the weekend. She really like was there. So like hats off to you, sister.
I know, that's
You
what I
did
think
good.
too. I definitely understand him like pushing up against it a little bit. A comment here is saying, I'm concerned about how she forced her presence
Oh,
upon
shut
him
up.
and stayed at the apartment so he couldn't change his mind. It feels manipulative. But
Y'all would hate a John Hughes movie. You would hate to be in the middle of a fucking Molly Ringwald renaissance.
Oh my God, that's all I ever dreamed
You would
of.
hate. Shut up.
I wanted someone to throw rocks at my window so
Hast
bad.
thou never been pursued? Like, stop.
I do kind of get that because he was saying how like, despite my refusal, but yeah, sometimes you do have to like take a chance in that way. But like, it is kind of weird that she like she scared him
No,
and then staying there. But we as people like do want people to fight for us, and she's fighting for him.
if she hadn't,
yeah,
everyone would have been like, "Ah, brother, she doesn't want you."
yeah,
Like,
you
she
can't
should have been there
win.
all weekend. She should have been there with chocolate and your favorite beer and a dinner and games, and she should have never left your side.
Yeah,
And then when she does that, it's like, it's kind of weird that she stayed there. Shut the fuck
I know
up.
you can't win.
Shut the fuck up.
Well, he replied to that and said, I could have gotten rid of her had I wanted her gone. She apologized pretty thoroughly and had good objections ready in case I wanted to argue. Our usual is that we'll spend the weekend together at someone's place, and this weekend it happened to be mine. I preferred it that way as I could lay on my couch.
I think she did everything that I would. She did everything I would have wanted my partner to do.
Yeah,
To be honest.
absolutely. So fine job. We're proud of you. Well, thank you for joining me, Horace.
Thank you for having me, Shannon D.
Let them know where they can follow you.
Find me anywhere on the internet: YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Actually, not anywhere on the internet. Only those 3 places. YouTube is at Hardly Qualified, and then Instagram and TikTok at Horace Gold. And say hi. I will say hi back. Mwah.
Mwah. And share with us any of your Munchausen / hypochondria stories.
Tell me the weirdest shit you wish would have happened to you as a kid.
Yeah. Because we love it. Make us feel normal.
Also, can we talk about the flags? Shout out to Shannon's flags. I love these so much.
Look, if you guys are watching on YouTube, I'm upgrading.
Upgrading.
And it's trial and error to see what looks good and not, but Stay tuned.
Stay
But yeah,
tuned.
their little microphone covers that say D is for
So these
drama.
ASMR.
Can you guys hear that?
You guys are listening to
Maybe.
this stuff.
Thank you guys so much for listening. And remember, you can't spell drama without D.